Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So we are doing my January favorites. I feel like a lot of these are going to be a few repeats from my best of 2018 because I had a few honorable mentions in there and those were kind of like my December favorites. And since I didn't do December favorites because of my best of 2018, I feel like this January favorites is composed of a lot of those items. Anyway, let's just get into it. I've got a lot of stuff to talk about. So I have more favorites than I could actually put on my face, but I will do a split screen and show you the application of some of the favorites that I do have in here. You guys have told me it's very, very helpful. So it's really easy for me to do. I just kind of film myself getting ready with these favorites and just stick them into the video. So let's go ahead and get started with primer. And I'm actually wearing earrings today that I'm going to take off because they're bothering me already. It's so weird. My body goes through these bouts of being allergic to earrings and not being allergic to earrings. And I think a lot of it has to do with my diet, but that is a whole nother video conversation situation. So the primer that I have been loving for a while now, ever since I purchased it, is the Armani Prima Glow On Moisturizing Balm. I've talked about this quite a bit. I liked it and I was using it sort of in place of the Tatcha Silk Canvas. I like this one a little bit better. I find it a little bit more moisturizing and a little bit easier to use. It kind of spreads a little bit more easily, but I did not take this with me to New York City. I was just there for 2 weeks. This is way too bulky for that, so I just left it at home. And I really missed it. And that to me was like a sign that it had become one of my favorites. And I've been using it nonstop since I got home. And I like it because it moisturizes my skin. I don't feel like it just acts as a primer. This, I think, actually incorporates a little bit more skincare on top of it being a really great primer. So if you have like skin that's on the drier side like I do, I would highly recommend this. This is a really lovely, lovely product. Okay, next up I have two foundations. One is the Edward Best Ultra Dewy Complexion Perfector, and that's what I have on my skin today. I really love this product. I did a whole kind of full face of Edward Best. It was a brand that I really wanted to try. I think I did it in November or early December. And this was one of the products that I really enjoyed in the video, but I was trying so many new things that I kind of just didn't give it a second thought. And then I used it again thinking, oh, you know, I liked that. And it's one of those products that has really grown on me. I just like it more and more every time I use it. I think the coverage is perfect for me. It's definitely on the lighter side. It's really creamy. It feels great. In fact, I don't really feel it on my skin at all. It's just lovely. It has a really lovely finish. It is definitely a natural skin-like finish with just a hint of dewiness. I don't think it goes overboard with its radiance. I think it just gives you a nice healthy glow. So I've been really enjoying this. And the other foundation I've been really liking is this Sicily Cushion Foundation. Now I did a whole dedicated video to this and I was definitely bothered by the shade range. There's only 3 shades. I have the darkest shade, which says something, but someone pointed out to me, and it's something that I really should have thought of, but this is part of their Phyto Blanc like whitening line. And I guess it makes sense that they're not going to have like a full shade range for a brightening / whitening product. So I guess that makes sense, but in general, Sicily does not have a super great shade range. So anyway, I digress. So I love this cushion for many reasons. Let me just show you the component here. So usually when it's a cushion foundation, the whole sponge or cushion is exposed, at least at some point when you have to kind of dip your sponge or your brush in. This actually only has a little bitty hole in there. You press down on this button here and what it does is it squeezes the cushion or whatever is inside and the product comes out of this little hole. So the packaging is really great because one thing I don't like about cushions is that it does seem slightly unsanitary. You have this big cushion just full of product and it just is constantly being exposed to the air and your tools. So I really, really like this packaging. It's just really smart to me. And I really love this foundation. So when I had first put this on during my full day wear test, I had tried to build it up a little bit. I don't like this built up. I like one very even layer on my skin and that's it. I tend to generally have issues around my chin area where foundation will start to look cakey around there. And that happened with this when I started to kind of build it up a little bit. So I leave this at one layer and it does a really, really lovely job just evening out my complexion. As the day goes on, I definitely get a little bit dewier, but it's like this nice radiance. I don't look greasy or sweaty. I just look healthier as the day goes on. So this is a really lovely product and I've really been enjoying this. All right, as for concealers, so I decided to take my Surratt Perfectionist concealer palettes with me to New York because I I always get really nervous when I pack. I look at things and I think that can explode, that can explode, that can explode. So anything that's kind of like a cream or liquid that's in like a tube or anything that's like kind of unscrewable, I always find if I travel and it's moving around a lot that it kind of ends up coming out. No matter how tightly I screw the lid on, it always kind of gets messy. I don't know if that's just me, but I thought these were a better idea to pack. And I was so happy that I packed these because I really got a chance to use them and appreciate them. So while packing, I actually forgot to bring the concealer brush that goes along with these. Surratt released a Perfectionist complexion brush to use with these concealers. I totally forgot to pack it, and I thought, well, I'm just going to go ahead and use my fingers, and it works beautifully with your fingers as well. So when I got ready today, I used the lightest shade in the number 2 palette. This is the one that has a brightening powder down here, setting powder that has like a pinky lavender tint to it. So I used this one around my eyes. And then I actually used the powder from the number 3 palette, this yellow one, under my eyes. When a powder is a little bit too pinky purple for me, it tends to look not quite right, especially under my eyes. So I don't think you necessarily need to run out and get 2 different palettes, one for the powder and one for the concealer. But the number 2 palette is the one that I end up using if I want like a brightening effect. So this is lighter and a little bit cooler in tone. And then the number 3 is a little bit, just a hint deeper. I want to say these are almost identical. It's just one is cooler and one is warmer. So this is 3 and this is 2. So I'll use the 3 if I'm doing kind of like a no makeup kind of day. If I just want something that's a little bit closer to my skin tone, I just kind of want to blot out any sort of discoloration that I may have, I'll definitely reach for 3. So I've been loving these, and I'm happy to report that it works great with the complexion brush that it comes with. In fact, I probably prefer that, but it works great with just your fingers. It's definitely a little bit tacky, and you're going to want to like kind of dip your finger in slowly. You can't really drag it across. It's not that smooth, but I just kind of tap it into the pan, and then I tap it under my eyes. And because it's such a pigmented product, you don't need a lot. A little bit goes a long way. So these concealer palettes were awesome for travel and just great as concealers go. Cream highlight. I have been loving the Tom Ford Glow Drop in Liquid Sun, and he came out with these glow drops and also some powders, like radiant perfecting powders. And both products have 2 shades. One is like white leaning or cooler, and one is like a deeper, like warm leaning shade. I thought for sure that I was going to be loving these drops and the warmer powder, but I have been loving this Liquid Sun and the Gilt Glow powder that is the whiter version of that perfecting powder. Anyway, I have this on today and I really love it. It gives me such a nice glow, and if you're really into that really glowy, dewy look, and I like using this underneath my setting powder because the powder like dampens it just a little bit. Otherwise, I think it's a little bit too much. So I like using this before I powder, but this has been wonderful. I have it, you can probably see it right here on my forehead, down my nose. I do have it on my cheeks. I have a lot of stuff on my cheeks, which I'll talk about, but I do have it on my cheeks. I have a little bit on my Cupid's bow and my nose. I said that already, my nose. So I've been loving the Liquid Sun Glow Drops from Tom Ford. And then let me talk about this cream blush. So I purchased this from Clé de Peau a while ago. I think I used it once and then it just kind of went into my collection, and I never really paid it much mind. So I kind of unearthed this when I think I was doing like a Playing with Makeup Forgotten Loves, and this is in shade number 4. So the Clé de Peau cream blushes come in this little pot, and if you guys watch my video about products that I am a sucker for, potted products, potted eyeshadow specifically, but potted products are a weakness of mine. Don't really know why. Some of you gave a lot of nice comments about what it could be about potted products that I'm really excited about, and I would have to agree with all of them. But yeah, there's just something about a potted makeup product that I really enjoy. But this particular blush from Clé de Peau is so beautiful. I have it down on like the balls of my cheeks because there was a powder blush that I wanted to use kind of further back, which I will show you in just a second. But this is such a beautiful, rosy, yet neutral toned kind of cream blush. It just makes your complexion look really healthy. It really helps your entire face kind of come alive. And there's something really wonderful about this formula. It is very creamy. It's very soft, but it's not too sticky or too tacky. It definitely has kind of a powder finish to it. And sometimes I find like cream to powder or just powdery finish cream products like a little bit drying, or they don't kind of blend well. You know, sometimes if it's too powdery, they kind of skip, or you kind of have to work it a little bit too much to kind of blend it out. It is so not true with this product. This product is so lovely. It just really blends out beautifully and it stays. And I know a lot of people have issues with like cream blushes kind of staying put. They tend to fade a little bit, but this is really incredible. So again, this is in the shade number 4. And then in terms of setting powder, I've just been gravitating towards this one, and it's so lovely. It's what I have on my face today. This is the Kogen Do, the Natural Lighting Powder. So there are like 3 different loose powders Kogen Do comes out with. This one, there's a sheer loosen powder that has a gold top, and then there's one that is, I want to say, a little bit more matte, and it's a white colored powder. This one is definitely translucent, but there is a bit of a color to the powder, but it's really, really natural looking on the skin. But I think what I like the most about this is that there is a very subtle radiance to it. So, I mean, really subtle. It's not something you can see at all. There are no bits in there. It's just not like a flat matte, which is what I like in a setting powder. I don't like really shimmery powders for setting powder, but I don't like powders that are like super duper matte. I just feel like those powders make my skin look really dry. So I think what I love about this is, well, it's a great setting powder. It looks beautiful on the skin, but when I use like cream highlights and other cream products, this has, again, that sheer radiance that it kind of helps the situation. So it doesn't completely dampen out anything that you've done underneath. It just sort of like mutes it a little bit, but adds its own little radiance. It's just great. And I think that's why I've been reaching for this one. This, I think, is a really beautiful complement to like liquid and cream products. So loving this one. And then the bronzer that I've been using is the Edward Bess Daydream bronzer. This is the Ultra Luminous bronzer. I have it on my cheeks today. It's this really lovely like satin finish kind of bronzer. It's definitely on the lighter side. It's definitely for like a fair, light skin tone. And also, I just want to mention all the pictures that I've seen of this product online do not depict it well at all. It depicts it like it's a bronzer that is super orangey and warm and gonna make you look like an Oompa Loompa. That is not the case. This is a more accurate depiction of what the bronzer looks like. Another thing, I'm also not sure what packaging it's supposed to come in. So I have it in this round compact. I know it also comes in like a rectangular case where the bronzer is on one side and then the other side maybe has a brush or something. I'm not sure, but I ordered one from Neiman Marcus, I believe, and this is the one that I received, and it works well. So anyway, I really love this. It blends beautifully. It goes on beautifully onto the skin. I really adore it. And then the powder blush that I have been obsessed with. I don't like to use that word. I definitely don't like to use it lightly, but I didn't bring this with me to New York, and I was this close to going out and just getting it. And the reason why I didn't want to bring it is because I didn't want it to break, but this is the Chanel Golden Sun blush. I just love it. I feel like I have found my perfect blush. It has a little bit of shimmer, and it definitely has fragrance like most Chanel blushes, but it's definitely very faint. But this to me is just such the perfect nude blush shade. And so what I like to do is I'll add that Clé de Peau cream blush to the apples of my cheeks just to kind of give me that like youthful glow. And then I will add this kind of further back and blend it into my bronzer and kind of just marry all of the blush bronzer situation with this. And it just is so beautiful. I just love this blush. And I've been using it nonstop, and it doesn't even look like I've made a dent in it. I think maybe the round domed part is starting to look a little bit flatter, but I just love it. Absolutely love it. So that is the Chanel Golden Sun blush. It's number 280. And then for highlight, I just unearthed these guys and have really, really been fixated on them. These are the Burberry highlighters and Fresh Glow highlighters. And I have 2. I have Rose Gold, which is like a rose gold. And I also have the Nude Gold, which is what I have on my cheeks today. So that's what you see right up here. It's sitting on top of the Tom Ford Glow Drops, but that like super foiled sheen that you see is the Burberry. So this is what the Nude Gold looks like. This is number 2, and the Rose Gold is number 4. I just love these, and I've had these in my collection for a really long time and just never really used them. And I think it was either during my declutter. I was gonna say maybe during a playing with makeup, but I think it was during my declutter that I was like, why don't I use these? So I took them out and I've been using them non-stop. So those highlighters are amazing. I actually don't see these on Sephora anymore. I hope they're not discontinuing these products, but I do think I have seen them on Nordstrom. Anyway, I will find them and link them down below in my description box. And then the last product I want to talk about for my face is the Tom Ford Skin Illuminating Powder Duo in Mood Light. This is another product that has been in my collection for a really long time, and it got buried and I never really bonded with it. I think I used it a couple times, kind of put it away, didn't think much of it. And I think this was during a playing with makeup when I was like, let me just take this out and use it. And I've fallen in love again. So what I will do with this deeper shade, because it has such a wet sheen to it, is I'll put down all of my other products, bronzer, blush, highlight, all of that. And then what I will do is buff this on top of my bronzer area if I want just like a wet looking cheek, like not just on the high points of my cheekbone, but like my entire cheek. And if, oh, there you can see it. It's like all of this wet looking business. Now, I think if you have texture, this probably is not going to be your friend. I feel like I don't have that much texture here, but a little bit, and I can see it kind of coming through. So I can't say for sure, but if you do have texture and you do have this product and it works for you, please let us know down below in the comment section. That would be really, really helpful. But I really love both of these powders. This one has a really wet kind of glow too. I just didn't want to add too much to my cheeks since I already had the glow drops and the Burberry highlighters. So I refrained. Oh my God, I wasn't kidding. I have a lot of stuff. Okay, let's move on to eyes. So I have two eye palettes that I feel like I've really been focusing on this past month or so. And it's been the Tom Ford White Suede, so this guy, and the Giorgio Armani Quad in Paparazzi. That's this one. So today I used this in my transition area. I kind of deepened out my outer V here and brought it into my socket area. And then I went in with the White Suede and I used this pink satiny color, which is so beautiful. This palette I feel like is like a creeper palette. Like you look at it and you're like, okay, like it looks okay. I don't quite get the coloring. You swatch it, you play around with it. You're like, all right, the quality is good. I like this. And then it's sort of like that Edward Best Ultra Dewy Complexion foundation. It just grew on me. I feel like I am constantly reaching for this quad now. I absolutely love these three satin shades, and then this is a beautiful topper. But I have this on the inner portion of my lid. I put this over the taupey shade from the Armani and kind of deepened out my outer V. And then I have this blue color here kind of lining my eyes. And then I went in with this kind of glittery crystally shade from the Armani and just put that in the inner corners. So if you look at these two quads, they do actually look kind of similar. This obviously has more of a pinky tinge. This is a little bit more neutral, but they are very, very similar. So I'm not really surprised that I've been kind of using them together and thinking them kind of as one. So I have been absolutely loving those two quads. I love every eye look that I get when I use them. I get different eye looks. It's so interesting because you look at this and you think, well, you know, what can you do with that? You can actually get a bunch of different eye looks. So I love this palette. This is limited edition. I hope it's still available. It was exclusive to Neiman Marcus. And it's wonderful. The quality is really, really wonderful. And same with the Armani. This eyeliner I wanted to mention because this really should have been in my best of 2018. Total oversight. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I forgot about this, but these are the Chanel Stilo Ombre et Contour, and I have electric brown. I have all the colors. I love them all. Electric brown just happens to be the one that I use the most. It's just kind of a chocolatey brown color and has a little bit of like glint to it. And you can see how much I've used it. But it comes up and down. It's like a thick chubby stick, and I have it in my waterline today, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful crayon. It goes on smoothly. It doesn't transfer. I don't feel like I ever see this smudge, and I can tight line with it easily. Really, really awesome, and I highly recommend these. And then for eyelashes, you guys probably know what I'm going to mention, but first we have the Japanese Can Make Quick Lash Curler. This has been absolutely amazing. So I curl my eyelashes, I put this on, and it keeps my eyelashes curled. I cannot tell you what a miracle product this is because no other product I have ever tried has been able to keep my eyelashes curled the way this does. All right, I just adjusted the lighting because it's getting dark in here. Oh, the Can Make Quick Lash Curler. So this is amazing. I love it. I got it off of Amazon. Again, I will link it down below in my description box if you are interested. This is clear. They have black, they have brown. This is very difficult to remove. The first time I tried to get it off, I couldn't. I have to use like an oil remover and like leave the pad on my eyes for a while to actually remove it fully. So I did find on Amazon, they have a version that is called like QR, quick remove, I guess. It's QR. So I think I want to try it, but then I think, is it going to be as good as this one? I don't know. I should probably get it for science, but I really love this one. And the mascara I've been loving, I think I've already mentioned this in many favorites, but this is the Edward Best Wish Granted Mascara. I love the wand on this. It just grips my lashes. I like the shape of it. It's tapered. It's just great. And the mascara itself is really nice. It like thickens my lashes. It lengthens them a little bit. I don't find that it smudges. By the end of the day, I haven't noticed any flaking or anything like that. So I've been loving this combo for my lashes. And then no surprise here, my favorite eyebrow product recently has still been the Fiber Brow Gel in Espresso from Tom Ford. I did put it on today to show you guys its versatility. So the majority of the time, I just kind of like a natural kind of brow. I don't need to go super bold or whatever. So what I'll do is just wipe the wand off of any excess product, and then I just kind of lightly brush it into my hair, and then I'll take any excess product and actually kind of scrape it onto my skin because I have very sparse brows, even though the hairs are very long. So I like to kind of fill in a little bit, and so it can do that if you just kind of scrape the spoolie along your skin. It's great. But if you want a bolder brow, which is what I did today, all I do is I'll brush in one direction and then I'll brush in the other direction. So I'm coating the like entire eyebrow hair with the product and kind of getting it all in there. And then I will just brush it in the direction that I want. So I love this product, as you guys know. The more I use it, the more I love it, the more versatile I find it to be. And it's just awesome. And then last but not least, I have some lip products. So I wanted to mention this guy. This is the Rodin Lip Oil, and this was a collaboration with Vanessa Trena. So this is in the color Granatum. I think this lip oil, at least with the collaboration with Vanessa Trena, has 3 shades, and I just decided to go for the bright red. This is what I wore when I went to Mexico in December. This is all I wore, and it was amazing. I love the little tint that it gives my lips. I just recently wore this in a video. Oh, the Beautylish Lucky Bag video. I was wearing this lip oil. It's just really lovely. It definitely has a little bit of a tint that you can see. The oil is really nice. My lips feel great after I wear them. It's just gorgeous and love this. Absolutely love it. And here is the applicator. It's like this cute little doe foot, but I've been loving that. And I wanted to mention also the Tom Ford Fucking Fabulous lip color. So I did a video with this and the Lost Cherry. I really like the Lost Cherry, but the Fucking Fabulous, I just reached for a little bit more. The Lost Cherry color is a little bit cooler. It's just a little bit more of a true red, where this one has a little bit more orange, which I happen to like. I don't know actually what looks better on me. I don't really care. I just really like this color. And when I'm in the mood for a red lipstick, this is the one that I've been reaching for the past month or so, or ever since I got it. And then last but not least, you guys know what I'm going to be talking about. This is what I have on my lips today, but it is the combo of the Pat McGrath Contour Lip Pencil with the Chanel gloss in 804 Rose Naif, I think it's pronounced Naif. And I have mentioned this a few times already in a bunch of videos. This is the only lip product I've ever used where people ask me if I've gotten lip filler. I was like, stop the presses. I need to get it back up. But many of you, I think, have purchased this because of me. When I was in New York, all of my friends were like, what do you have on your lips? Because this is pretty much what I wore a lot of the time in New York. Not the only thing, but a lot of the time. And every time I did, and I was with friends, they were like, what's that on your lips? And I was like, let me show you. But I use this obviously to line my lips. I overline just a little bit, and then I will smudge the line out with my finger, and then I'll apply this all over, and then I'll probably apply it like on my Cupid's bow area, like a little messy. So I'm kind of highlighting, if you will, my Cupid's bow with this product. And I think it just makes my lips look so, so full. I don't have especially thin lips, but no one has ever asked me if my lips have been filled. So it is definitely time for me to stop filming because it's getting really dark in here. I hope you enjoyed my favorites for this past month. Let me know what some of your favorites are down below. I would love to hear from you. I always do, and I always get such good recommendations from you guys. So don't forget to comment, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe down below if you haven't already. I'll see you in my next video.